On this adventure, we go to the #1 birding hotspot in northern Utah, and we run into an unexpected rare gull. We also pick up a new bird for our state list, another rare bird, and another unexpected one that I wasn't planning on seeing. So come with us on this journey, and let's see what birds we can find. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're at the Bear River Migratory Bird Refuge. I did get out here a little bit later than I wanted to. I'm exhausted, absolutely exhausted. However, first mosquito of the day. There's some awesome birds in this area, and I can't wait to see what we find. And because it's a wetlands, birds will stay out a lot later than canopy birds, for example. So without further ado, let's head out onto this 13-mile loop. We have 2 hours to complete it and see how many species we can find today. So my plan was not to do an in the car vlog today. Despite being an auto loop, I was planning on getting out and talking to you guys outside. The moment I stepped out of the car, absolutely swarmed by mosquitoes. I've already been bit a dozen or so times. It was miserable. So if the mosquitoes continue to be this way, you're gonna get me in the car. But this is an auto loop, so that makes sense, and we're gonna see a lot more birds doing it this way anyways. First bird on our list, at least on camera for the day, is a northern harrier. This was out in the distance. It kind of was confusing me for a little while, but then I was able to pick out that, oh yes, this is a northern harrier. And then we just came across our first big group of birds, you know, shorebirds out in a mud flat. The problem is that, of course, they were into the sun, so it's a little bit difficult to tell what everything is. I believe there's some American avocets out there. There's definitely some willet out there as well, which is a cool species. Don't always see that constantly in the city of Utah. And then I believe picked up a ring-billed gull as well, which at this time of year is probably the most abundant gull species. Ring-billed gulls and California gulls tend to dominate the landscape. So we've seen some pretty cool birds so far, and we've only hit one bend of the entire refuge. So we're gonna continue going onward and seeing what other birds we can find today. I'm not really expecting to find anything new. But again, that's what makes birding so fun. It's very possible that we do. So stay tuned. Let's see what's out there. So the birds that I ended up looking at into the sun might have been, some of them might have been greater yellowlegs. I can't tell unless I go back and look at the footage. But the next group ended up being a big group of greater yellowlegs, maybe some willets mixed in there. And we also ended up seeing a white-faced ibis, 2 white-faced ibis to be exact. So overall, some pretty cool birds. I went outside for a little bit actually, and I talked to a local birding legend, Dennis. And he had his scope out, and luckily the mosquitoes weren't too bad in that area. I still got bit up a little bit there. But then I went back outside because I saw this massive flock of ducks. There's some incredible species mixed in there. Northern pintails, American widgeon, gadwall, northern shovelers. There's just so many species mixed in there, and I would have loved to sit there and scan them. But instead I had to take a couple pictures. Just listen to this clip real quick. Yeah, that's me smacking a mosquito off of my neck because, oh my goodness, I got absolutely eaten alive. The mosquitoes are going haywire. They're all over the place. Do not wear shorts in the fall in the state of Utah if you're anywhere near water, but it's making it really difficult for me to bird. In fact, I filmed this American coot through the window, which I would never do because obviously adding an extra layer of glass lowers your quality, but the mosquitoes wanted to eat me. They want to eat me alive. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. Hopefully the mosquitoes clear up and the wind picks up a little bit, you know, knocking them away. But at this rate, we're just gonna see some incredible species, and I'm just gonna get bit all over the place. All my blood will be gone by the end of this trip, and we'll see how things go from there. All right, so this is the point in the video where normally I would be super excited to get into the edit, and y'all aren't gonna believe what we found during this adventure. It's absolutely incredible. 2 rare birds and 2 unexpected rare birds at that. But my audio's gone. Unfortunately, because I was in my car, my phone Bluetooth connected to the car, and it just made the audio not work whenever I was talking to the camera. So I have half of the video without audio. Eventually the audio comes back. So instead, I'm gonna narrate this for you as best as I possibly can. Please bear with me. We end up seeing, again, some really, really cool birds coming up real soon. So it's unfortunate. That's kind of the behind the scenes of YouTube. I'm definitely frustrated. I got a little bit upset, I'm not gonna lie, but we're out here. We're gonna finish this video, and we're gonna make the best of an unfortunate situation. So stay tuned. Let's get back to the video. As you can see, the audio is completely gone, so this is my attempt to recreate the magic. On both sides of the road is a plant known as Phragmites. These plants are extremely invasive and take out the native cattails, which birds and other species rely on. The state has been battling against Phragmites for quite a long time, and as you can see by this burn, they really tried to put in a ton of effort. They've brought cows out to mow down the Phragmites, they've burned it, they're trying all these things to take it out. But enough about the grass, let's get into the birds. A song sparrow stood on top of one of the invasive Phragmites strands. If you ever hear a bird that sounds like a mouse squeaking, it's most likely this sparrow. On the water, cutting through the glassy surface, swam a Clark's grebe. We take advantage of these birds in the west as those out east love finding the grebes whenever they visit our states. In the distance stood a regal great blue heron. The heat haze began to really impact the footage that was further away, especially with my car running. But the bonus is it protected me from the mosquitoes. Now this is an interesting sight. These are both western grebes, but the one on the right is a juvenile western grebe. See how it looks almost completely white? I found this really cool. It was almost as if I was observing an entirely different bird. Even if you aren't finding new birds on your trips, there is so much we can learn from the birds we see on a regular basis. I absolutely love birding for this reason. I've been trying to be better about filming gulls. In reality, gulls are really cool birds, and they really do merit our attention. This is a pair of ring-billed gulls sitting on the water. They are the ultimate generalist bird. Alright, back to Silent Jordan. We get this nice scene where I'm telling you how I believe we are about to find a rare bird. Vibes were up, there was no more mosquitoes, and I really thought we were about to find something cool. 5 minutes later, I'm back on camera again, still silent of course, and we actually found a rare bird. I even mentioned that it would seem like I'm faking this whole scenario, but in reality I spoke this whole thing into existence. Meet the Sabin's gull. Not a new bird by any means for my list, but a rare annual visitor to Utah, and my favorite gull of all time. I can't believe we found this, and I sure do love this bird. I actually thought we weren't going to see it this year at all. Back on the road again, I hit the last stretch of the refuge. I was surprised to find a great egret strutting through the heat haze. These birds, while pretty easy to find in other states, are a lot more difficult to find in Utah. They aren't uncommon by any means, but they certainly are not easy to find, at least for me. I just got word of a green heron. Hey, that was actually pretty good lip syncing right there. Anyways, I got word of a green heron, and they're not usually found this far north this time of year. This is a very rare bird, and it was spotted 30 minutes from my location at Weber State University. When I arrived at the pond, I spotted some more ring-billed gulls. These really are the stars of the show of this video. You're welcome, because they're awesome. I scanned the length of the pond looking for our tiny heron spanning the horizon. Oh my goodness, what in the world is that right there? That did not take long at all. New bird for Utah, green heron, also way out of range, super far north. Absolutely incredible bird too. And we got some amazing looks. Honestly, like I walked out, I had to pay for parking. Totally worth it, by the way. I walked out and I looked around for probably 2 minutes, and then I spotted them. They're a lot smaller than you'd expect them to be honest. But enjoy these views of the green heron, a rare bird for Utah, and a new bird for my Utah list. Finding a green heron this far north in October is highly unusual. This bird marks my 292nd bird towards my goal of finding 300 species in the state of Utah. If you look at the range map of these fascinating birds, they can usually be found in Utah on the southern border of the state. These birds are awesome. They're one of the few animals on Earth to use tools like leaves and branches for fishing and attracting prey. They'll drop a leaf or a feather or a branch in the water until a small fish comes towards it, and then they strike. They are one of the coolest birds on the planet, and they can even dive into the water after prey if they need to. Someone once said that they look like tiny little swans swimming back to shore. I've never seen it personally, but I'd love to. Thank you so much for bearing with me throughout these technical difficulties. Make sure you check out Bright-Eyed Birding Learn for an awesome video explaining in depth how birds are the last surviving dinosaurs on the planet. Also, don't forget, next week is October Big Day, and by the time you're watching this, I just completed my big day. You don't want to miss this adventure. Make sure you subscribe so you can see my attempt to break my October species record of 75 species in one day. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.